welcome back. This is Ben Jones with Money and Mac and G. Say hello, McKenna.
Hi.
How about you, G-Man?
Hello.
Hey, this is a good one. This is a Super Bowl Sunday. The game is about ready to start in a couple hours, and we thought we'd get this in before the game, which is going to be a little bit weird. But don't forget to subscribe, like, and review us, okay? So when you go ahead and hit those buttons, and we are so happy to be here today. What's the word for the week, McAdoo?
I'm really excited for the Super Bowl, even though we're not there. I just like watching it on TV. I'm not a huge football person, but I'm just excited because I don't know. I like the commercials. The commercials are really funny, and I love it. Okay.
Do you think it's going to be a little bit different this time with coronavirus?
Yeah.
Yes, it's probably going to make more jokes about coronavirus, though. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I didn't think about that.
Grant, why don't you turn it because I can't really hear you, buddy.
Oh, oops. Hello.
There. We got you?
Yep.
Okay. So I, what do you call it? Want to make sure that we get you captured. But how about you? What's your word for the day, for the week, G-Man?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday.
Everyone's
Yay.
just really trying to trying to watch the game, trying to get those TVs, foreshadowing. And yeah, I'm exhausted, but
All
yeah.
right. Well, you guys had a long day yesterday. You guys were at a big, what do you call it? Not conference, but
Competition.
A competition
Yeah.
for robots. You guys built a robot, and that was pretty cool. So maybe we should talk about that one other time. But let's go ahead and hit the markets really quick, and let's do this really snappy. McKenna, how
Yes.
many people are in the Dow Jones? How many companies?
There are 30 in the Dow Jones.
That's right.
Yeah, they're all blue chips, right?
Yeah, they're blue chips, which a blue chip is like a poker chip, which is very valuable, which means they're usually a really strong company. And we don't see as much growth out of them as other companies. How many are in the S&P, McKenna? We're going to do this.
500.
Yes,
Let's go!
we're good. In the NASDAQ, G, what does that cover?
Those are all the tech companies?
Exactly. So we haven't been here last week. We did the Tony Petro interview, but we saw some weird stuff. The week before last, we were pretty much down across the board, and last week we're up across the board.
Yay.
And so we, the Dow was up about 4. S&P was up about what last week, G?
4.7%.
Yeah, let me round it to 5 is cool.
Yeah.
And then NASDAQ, Mac, what happened last week with the NASDAQ?
It went up a whopping 6%.
So,
Whopping.
year to date, the Dow's up about 2. Yeah, whopping. You guys are thinking about Burger King or something like that.
You should wait till the day trade, McKenna, to say whopping.
Nah. So, what do you guys see on the day trade? How did we do last week? We had a negative the week before last, but last week, what did we do? How big was it?
22.2%.
So year to date, what did we do? Hey, got some clapping. What did we get, Kyle? What did Kyle and I get year to date? So since the beginning?
66.3%.
And your Apple for year to date?
Yay. 2.4.
2.4.
It's going somewhere. It's going places, guys.
So it's going places. Well, the day trading is very risky. We didn't throw in a lot of money, and we're doing fantastic. Before we get any level of confidence, we want to keep doing it. Do it 6 months or a year and see what's going on. But it's actually doing pretty well. So markets are up pretty good. Bitcoin is on a rage. I think it was 10% up last week, right?
Yeah, 9.7.
But the day trading is still kicking Bitcoin from behind. That's cool. So today, who is in the Super Bowl, Mac?
We got the Buccaneers.
All right, Tampa Bay, Buccaneers, and who else do we have?
The Chiefs.
Kansas City Chiefs. All right, and where are they playing the Super Bowl later today?
In Tampa Bay?
In Tampa Bay. And what's so weird about that? Is there anything really unique about the Super Bowl?
World record.
So basically, Tampa Bay is like a stadium. Well, they have a stadium in Tampa Bay.
Raymond James, it's called in Tampa Bay. Yeah, it's the home stadium for who?
Tampa Bay.
Buccaneers.
And this is the first time in Super Bowl history that we have a home team playing. I have a team playing on their home field.
That is
For the Super
pretty
Bowl.
cool, huh?
Yeah.
And it's a little bit of a weird story, and we're going to get into the money because there's so much money to talk about when you talk about the Super Bowl. But who is the quarterback for Tampa Bay? Do you remember? Tom
Brady. Tom Brady.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tom Brady. So kind of interesting because he came from New England, and that's pretty interesting. But what's the other potential? Well, it's a second, but the back-to-back. Which quarterback can go back-to-back? And there's only been Tom Brady who's done it before. Who can go back-to-back this time? Kansas City Chief quarterback? Mahone, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Back-to-back wins.
We'll see back-to-back wins in the Super Bowl. So we'll see what happened. But let's talk just a little bit about it because COVID is completely changing how the Super Bowl works, people getting together, as well as the price of tickets. And what do we say determines the price of something, guys? Come on. I always teach you this. Supply
And demand.
Supply and demand. So how many people can they normally get into the stadium in Tampa Bay?
They can normally
It's a
hold
pretty
up
big number.
to 75,000 people.
Yeah, they can if they make some changes. I think they can go from 65 to 75,000, which is what they would have done for the Super Bowl. And the ticket price, when they were thinking they'd get 75,000 in there, their ticket price was actually what, a pack of four? Is that right, Mac? How much were they
Yes.
paying for these pack of four?
$6,750.
Yeah, for a pack of four. So you're talking, what, about 1,600? Is that right? Yeah, about
Yeah.
64. So it was, pretty pricey. But the thing is, with COVID, what did they shrink it down to? Gee, how many seats are they actually going to have filled for the Super Bowl?
So only 22,000, but 7,500 have been vaccinated.
Right. I don't know if they required that or if they just are saying that, but it was such a round number. It seemed like they were requiring that 7,500 seats were going to go to. So what happens? Now the supply is a ton lower. The demand, let's say, is the same. What happens to the price then, guys?
The price is now $5,950 per ticket, rising to $21,500 for 2 tickets.
Wow. That's pretty crazy, right? And if
my.
you go online,
So it used to be 6,750 for 4 of them, so about 7,000 for 4. But now it's $6,000 for 1 person.
and that's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah,
cow.
so up by like literally 400%.
That's a lot. That's
Yeah.
a lot of supply and demand changes that shoot the ticket price up. And if you go online, you guys, what do you call scalpers? A scalper buys a whole bunch of tickets and tries to sell them for more than he bought them for. Yeah. But if you look at the scalper, there's 2 of them what's the most expensive ticket that I was looking at the other day on StubHub? McKenna, do you know how much that one was?
This is
Yes,
scary.
it's literally the price of a house. It's 1,120 just to be.
That's a lot of clams. Grant, you look like you're about ready to say something. What were you going to say, bud?
I was going to say that it seems like a lot of people just have that lying around on their couch.
Yeah, $200K.
Yeah.
But what's the cheapest ticket? Because you could actually go below that per person ticket if somebody bought too many of them and was trying to scalp them. They had too much supply and not enough demand. What was that one going for?
It's on SeatGeek and it's for
SeatGeek.
SeatGeek. I said Greek on accident. For $4,177.
Whoa. So that's getting pretty pricey. And for an average family, that is too much. And when we look at what was the first Super Bowl was in which year? 1967. And who played in that? Any ties back from this today back to there?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs.
And the Packers.
And the Packers. Well, we put in the Packers. Mom doesn't like talking about the Packers, but the Packers are interesting. We'll get to them in just a second. But the Kansas City Chiefs, how much did they pay? G-Man, how much did they pay in money at that time for a ticket to the Super Bowl?
It was $12, which is $90 today money.
That is so much less.
That's so much less. So
yeah.
$90 in today's money. And now we're paying about, what was it, $5,000 a pop? $6,000 a pop for a ticket. That is just nuts. And if you go on StubHub, which we just said had a $200,000 ticket, they are so nice that they'll actually do what for you? They'll finance it, right, G?
Yep.
And what are their options there for one of the tickets if you buy it? Can you finance over 50 years or?
They can pay for 3, 5, or 12.
3, 5, or 12 months. And what is their interest rate? It's a low.
The very, very low 30%, we'll help you out with 30% more money that we'll take from you, We're gonna help you out.
And that's not even as good as a credit card because we're seeing credit cards at like 21, 2, 3, 4%. And so this is even more expensive. So, just a little tip out there. If you don't have the money to go to the Super Bowl, you probably shouldn't because that $6,000 ticket, if we add 30%, turns into $7,800, right?
And yeah,
if you have a TV, you can watch it there. So
Yeah, you can watch it for free.
Yeah, just save a bunch more money and buy a TV. It doesn't even have to be big. Just save money.
Oh, come on. You got to have a big screen for the Super Bowl, baby.
Okay.
yeah,
Well-
Grant.
And we'll talk about a quick number about that as well as we go through some of the extra items here. But you've got a $12 ticket in 67, and now you're shooting $6,000, which they started at a little, close to $7,000 for a 4 ticket, and it is ridiculous.
Very ridiculous.
It is very ridiculous. But I have to admit, before we get done, I have gone to a Super Bowl, and I'll give you a little bit of details on that one in just a second. But they also have some really cool game offers. I think I saw one a couple years ago, and I probably should have dug a little bit deeper for this year. But a couple years ago, they would give you 7-pound lobsters, and how much would they charge for you? Because they'd fly them in for the game.
$20,000.
It is crazy.
Wow.
You got the 7 pounds lobsters that were brought in. I don't think very many, and maybe it was just 7 pounds of lobster, but it was flown in and they were charging $20,000 for it.
Like, why?
Like, why? Because people just want to live completely large. And that's what we're talking about today. We're talking about all the money that gets spent. Because, quite honestly, the Super Bowl, I know we're fans, right? But a lot of this is about money. And let's talk about why it is so valuable. First up, how many people actually watch the Super Bowls? It's an estimate. It's very close. Could go up, could go down. McKenna.
It's about 100 million people.
And how many, that sounds like a big portion of how many people are in the U.S. about?
333 million.
Whoa.
Yeah, so a third of the entire U.S.
is watching this thing. So you've got a lot of eyeballs on the screen, and it's very valuable for whom? Who are all the people that want to pay money to the network in order to do what?
Ads?
Do ads. And what do we tell? We stand in front of the television and watch even the commercials, right?
Yeah.
And there are some really doozies out there, right?
Commercials, I actually like the commercials on the Super Bowl because they're kind of funny. Yeah.
They
I
are
like the Dorito ones. Can't wait for that.
the Dorito ones. And what's the other one? They have a lot of what?
Oh,
Bud Light.
Bud Light. Yeah. But how much beer is sold? Do you remember?
A lot.
It was like $1 billion worth of beer.
$1 billion of beer this weekend. So we'll get into that just a tad bit more. But how much does the network, so the TV channel that actually shows the Super Bowl, how much do they pay to get rights to show that? $1 billion.
Oh yeah.
They pay about $1 billion, right?
That's a ton.
And how much ad revenue or commercials do they get?
$500 million.
So that's kind of crazy, right? We're talking about the economy. We're talking about like money moving around. And if the spend on the commercials is big, then that usually indicates that people are willing to spend that. The economy is doing a little bit better, right? And they're going to get $500 million back in those ad revenues. And there's all kinds of other stuff that's in there. And I know we're throwing a lot of numbers at you, but I like to break down, and you hear it every year, and I get it. But a 30-second commercial, Mac, will run you about how much? Just pocket change, right? Just pocket change.
Yeah.
How much is a 30-second commercial? Because by the time that you're done talking about it,
a 30-second commercial.
Yeah, it's about $5 million. And how much is it a second?
Oh, it's 160.
Yep, 160,000 a second. By the time that it took you to look for it, you probably spent $10 million.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? And we talked about some of our favorite commercials. And I don't know if anybody out there listening can remember when the guy comes to the IRS, he has a problem, and he's sitting there talking to the guy. And he says, hey, I got this problem with my tax return. And, being the money guy that I am, I'm just laughing because every tax return that I did for somebody, guess what they always think? You're going to get me a
Refund.
a refund. And it never works like that because they always forget something. Oh, yeah, I earned a little money over here. And, I didn't really spend that much money. And on the Doritos commercial, the guy's like sitting down and he's talking and he goes, well, what's it look like? And the guy says, I smell refund.
No.
And the guy goes, really? And he goes, no, not really. And to me, that just makes me laugh so much because I have been through that because everybody's going, why ain't you getting me a refund? And it's nothing that I could do. But that was one of my favorites. Did you guys, there was like E-Trade that we saw with the little baby doing some crazy stuff.
Yeah, they were just like talking to each other.
They were talking to each other. What was the one that you liked? Didn't you like one of the Doritos?
I liked the Dorito one because he had like a bunch of Doritos like taped all over him. He looked like a Dorito monster. And then he
the Dorito man.
shooted a Dorito into the side of the guy's neck.
Yeah, he was like, get away.
Took his Doritos.
He took my Doritos. And he whipped out a Dorito and hit the guy in the neck. But it's $160,000 a second, $5 million for a 30-second spot, plus or minus. I remember the GoDaddy. There was a GoDaddy commercial that it started on the Super Bowl, and it was the first one ever to link it to the website or link it to the internet. And so she starts doing crazy stuff and says, go to the internet to check out what happens next. And so they actually moved that $5 million commercial to an additional commercial on the website. Isn't that smart?
Oh.
So instead of having a 1 minute for $10 million, they had a 30-second for $5 million and then got everybody to go to their website. And now they're all hitting the website. I think it might even have crashed. So I'll have to take a look at that.
Crash.
But that's crazy. And where is the Super Bowl this time?
It is in Tampa Bay.
There you go, Tampa Bay. And does Tampa Bay earn any additional money out of this, like the government in Tampa Bay? Because if people are buying stuff and drinking alcohol, then is there a tax on the alcohol?
Yes.
Yeah, there's like, I forget the number. It's like $50 million in just tax revenue. But all of the McKenna, the hotels, they're doing it. And is it like 10 million, 20 million, 100 million, a couple hundred million? Couple hundred million.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like when you're going there, people are going to come from around the states. And like for the Super Bowl, so you're going to want to get like a place to sleep. You're going to want to go out and eat at restaurants. I mean, depends if you want COVID or not. But like, yeah.
But think about this time. It's probably less. You know why it's probably less? Because the home team in Tampa lives right there, and nobody has to come in.
Mm-hmm.
But Kansas City still has to fly in.
Yep.
So a lot of people for Kansas City probably have a better chance of getting a flight in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have like two teams from all over the country fighting for trying to get into where the actual Super Bowl is being played.
Yep.
But the actual host city, Tampa Bay, usually makes a couple hundreds of millions of dollars. And then when you're there, what do you buy when you're there? Do you buy a big foam finger? Woohoo! We're number one.
Yes, sir.
No, we do. And how much was it estimated that they do for that one?
$200 million in merchandise.
And I don't know about anybody listening. Does that just freak you out? It's like the numbers are just astronomical.
Yeah, like I didn't think it would be nearly that much. I thought maybe like 1 million tops, but like, geez, 200
million in just extra merchandise.
Right, because like
so
those
much.
jerseys are like $50 each, and they're like
maybe 100, maybe.
Yeah, like it's very expensive. So.
And so you got to do $200 million in merchandise, and interesting enough. You were talking about the rings. Did you guys see the rings? Okay, you guys got to pull up the rings. And as we talk about the rings, check this out. The ring is given to the winning team, right? But it's also given to, I think, all the coaches and staff and owner. And so there are a lot of rings. Did you guys type in Super Bowl ring?
Oh, wow. They're very
Go ahead. You guys can look at it. I've seen it before. You don't have to show me.
Oh, my.
McKenna's going to try to get it in there. Look at that bad boy. Woohoo! Okay, Mac.
Yeah, we could see it.
Way to go. But
It's very
Oh my.
big
That is.
and looks expensive.
but what I read was how many rings are produced. You can put that down now.
Okay.
Be very careful.
They need
There's-
Oh, sorry.
Well, go ahead. No, you're right on it, bud.
150 people like that get the rings.
And they're averaging, I think, about now how much?
$40,000 each.
So if you really did the math, we were just saying, hey, it was about $5 million. But if you really do the math, 40 times 150 is actually $6 million. Because 15 times 4 is $6 million.
Oh.
So
You messed up.
I didn't mess up.
math.
That was just what they were saying. But that's $6 million just in just in the ring. And when I see that, I just roll my eyes back in my head. But what happens to the team that wins, the players?
Okay, so
The players get around here.
Go ahead. You guys can load it up. So the average salary in the U.S. is, I believe, below $45,000. So to put it in perspective,
like per year, you mean?
yeah, let's call it 40. Let's just call it 40 to make it easy on the numbers. How much does each one of the players on the winning team get as a prize for winning the Super Bowl? Go ahead, G.
Regular per year for an average American, $40,000 a year. Okay.
And I can look it up, but it's somewhere I think right around there.
So, just for the winning team,
Just for the Super Bowl.
just for one player, like the winning team, they get $120,000 just from that game if they win.
And that's not their regular salary, right?
Yeah. But the losing team, they get money too. Like they just have to be there basically to get that money.
They got to get
They
beat
get
up.
$60,000 already, like just from one game, and then plus like all the other stuff that like
All the bonuses they get to get to the Super Bowl because you've got to play multiple games. And what else do they get? I'm putting my fingers up.
Ring.
The winner gets the ring, which is an extra bling bling of how much?
40,000.
Like about 40K.
But that's to the winner.
That's like a full
So,
year. Right there, that's a full year.
No, that's like a full
Year.
4 years.
Well, no, yeah, you're right, because it's a full year for the ring and then 3 years for the 120.
But they get that for one game.
The one
day.
game.
One day for like 3 hours.
Probably a little long.
4
They
hours.
probably aren't on the field the whole
5
time, right?
hours,
Because they're not. But that is just amazing. And if we talk about investing, we have Tom Brady, who came back down from New England Patriots, and we already know that New England is one of the top teams, most valuable teams, right? What makes a team valuable? Oh, you got a little caught over there, G?
Yeah.
G's kind of stuck there. Do you get it straight out? Great. Is one of the most valuable teams, which means they sell a lot of jerseys. People always come to the games. They have rights because people want to see them. They work with the network and say, hey, if you're going to show my team, I get a lot of people watching, so you got to pay me more. But how much did he spend to buy from what we did a little research on that? He spent
an investment of a New England Patriots of $172 million.
So he spent $172 million, right?
And it's now around $4 billion.
It may be more now that they're in the Super Bowl again. And what kind of a return is at least those numbers? Because that's pocket change, right? $172 million.
Yeah.
Totally.
So it goes from 172 to $4 billion. And what's the return on that one? Because I'll take this any old day.
2,000%.
2,000%.
Yay.
1,000.
Can you believe that? And that's absolutely insane. So that's one guy who owns the entire team. And we spoke about 1967 that we had the Packers and the Chiefs that were playing each other. And the Packers, I said, were interesting because I believe from the information I have, they're the only what team? Publicly owned team.
Yeah.
So instead of one guy owning it, a lot of people own it. How many people own it, Mac?
About 360,000 people.
So they actually have to do financial statements and everything else. So the Green Bay Packers are owned by their stockholders, which are about 360,000 people. Did you know that? That's pretty crazy to think about. And then you've got this one guy owning it, 2,000% increase. So what is some of the prices? Because if you're going to go to the Super Bowl, you're going to spend $5,000 or $6,000 to be there. You're going to spend $2,000 to get there unless it's in Tampa Bay.
Oh, wait. You're hungry.
You're-
Oh, let's just pull out some more money for that $12 Coca-Cola bottle.
So it's a $12 Coke.
Can.
I don't know if it's I don't think it's a bottle or
Yeah,
can. I
sorry,
think it
not-
comes in a cup. But that's actually cheaper because it's just syrup, right? The syrup, the taste, and then bubbly water. And the last one that we looked at was like 11 or 12 bucks was last year. So it's got to be at least 12 bucks, right?
Yes.
And then
Oh
how
my
much is a
gosh,
hot dog?
so
Hot dog, what? How many hot dogs can you get? Can you get like 6 hot dogs for $1 like you do in the store, or $2 or whatever?
Nope.
How much is it?
$8 for one hot dog.
One.
So is this like a good thing to take the whole family? Come on, guys, let's go to the Super Bowl.
Take the fam.
Take the family. And if you took the entire family, you would talk $20 for each person, 8 and 12, right? The hot dog and the Coke. And then we'd be over $5,000 a person.
And then 40,000 for tickets.
Yeah, you'd pay a lot for tickets, depending on whether you get the cheap ones or the big ones, right?
Yeah.
30 or 40, then you have to fly in and food while you're there and everything else. It's absolutely crazy. So, I don't even know who's the halftime entertainment? Oh my gosh. Look it up, Mac. Look it up right now. Who's halftime entertainment? But here is an interesting fact. That Bruno Mars, and I'm picking on Bruno just because I think the guy's pretty awesome, and I love some of his songs, like I Want to Be a Billionaire. But he did the halftime show. How much did he get paid?
So this is going to be... Do you have
Excuse me.
COVID, sir?
Well, then you're going to get it too, so I'm
Oh.
passing around.
Oof.
It's a co-video.
So...
The Weeknd.
The Weeknd, you know them? Oh my gosh, I must be
The
too old.
Weeknd. Oh my gosh.
Is that good?
Yay. Yes.
So anyways, you're going to be surprised. Their payday is something.
It has a lot of zeros, right?
Yeah.
It has 3.
Free.
0.00.
Yeah.
They
so,
don't
yeah,
get paid. Go ahead, Gene. Sorry, I'm cutting
they
you off.
don't get paid, but you know why? Because usually the following week,
No, not usually. For Bruno Mars, this is just Bruno Mars. What
Oh,
happened
okay.
to him?
So for
they get
Bruno Mars-
exposure so that people see what they do. Go
yeah,
ahead.
so they get to see like that their albums, and Bruno Mars, he sold 5 times as many albums as he did the week before the Super Bowl.
So, though he did the show, everybody thought he was awesome because I did. I mean, he's fun to watch. And that following week, he sold 5 times as many as he did the week before.
Yeah.
That is super cool. So he
Holy
gets paid
cow.
Zippo at the Super Bowl, probably has just a great time, right? But then he sells a lot more records and he's going to make some money. Go ahead, Mac.
Does he get a free seat?
I would sure as heck hope so. And we'll have to look for The Weeknd, whoever those guys are, whether or not they're at the game and watching and having fun.
Okay, this next part is pretty funny.
Okay, so what is the next part? You wanna
TVs. McKenna, you want to explain it?
You wanna-
Yes, I really would.
So what happens? What happens when you want to throw a Super Bowl party or you want to see the Super Bowl? Do you have a tiny TV, Mac?
No.
What do you have, babe?
You have like humongous TVs.
Which they call like a big screen, right?
Yeah, but of course you don't have just random humongous TV laying around, do you?
Nope, and you probably don't have like $1,000 lying around.
No.
But you really want one, so what do you
Yep.
do?
You go to the store, get your brand new TV, and then you're like, yay, and then you invite a bunch of friends over to brag how great your TV is.
Wow, you're working this. I like that.
Then, like, the week after, you're just going to be like, this is too much money. I mean, I was planning about this, but I'm just going to return it. No one
Let's
will
just give
ever
it back.
know.
They'll never know. They'll never know.
Totally not illegal.
I don't even know if they actually do that. They just kind of just bring
Yeah, I
it
didn't
bring it back. Ooh, the thunder rolls. You just kind of hit the table. So they take them back. And so is there like a percentage? What's the percentage of return TVs the week after the Super Bowl? Is it up like 1% or 2%?
No, it's up 200%.
You're kidding me. They actually buy these things and then they use it for the
return
Super Bowl
them.
and return them. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm very, happy with people doing that. But that's what happens. 200% return on large TVs the week after the Super Bowl. Oh, geez. Well, I guess that's one way to save money. And the average person spends around how much at a Super Bowl party? But this is pre-COVID, right? This number. So how much do you spend if you just kind of are hanging out, going to a Super Bowl party? What is it, guys?
$90.
$90. And they say that the younger kids, which I think was somewhere between like 24 and 30, what do they spend? Did they spend more or less?
More, but they spend $120.
$120. So, if you're trying to watch your money, this is something that you got to be careful with. The big party tray. So you're having everybody over. Should you buy the big party tray? The cut.
No.
The cut.
No.
The one that has all the cut.
You can make it all at home. Guys.
Cauliflower, broccoli. You make it at home because
DIY.
What kind of percentage is it more if you buy it pre-cut? And I know everybody doesn't have the time, but
200% more.
Yep.
That's like double.
And
More
so,
than double.
So a quick thing to talk about is, hey, do it at home, do it yourself, or if everybody comes over, what do?
Potluck.
And what's a potluck, bud?
So, everyone brings like their own thing. Like, little Susie's gonna bring over the chips. Johnny Boy's gonna bring the cheese.
Wow.
And then, old Uncle Tim's gonna bring over the beer.
That's right. So
Yeah.
everybody else chips in, which is really good. Keeps your keeps all of the money down, which is great. Or you go generic. So instead of buying the name brand chips or whatever, maybe take it down a notch. Hey, after the first couple beers, right? Maybe they don't even know because we just said they spent about $1 billion in beer, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, how many chicken wings do we eat over that weekend?
Over $400 million on chicken wings
That's
and over $1 billion wings.
Can you believe that? There's $400 billion in chicken wings or $1 billion wings that are eaten?
No.
That's really hard.
That's
The
a
poor
lot.
chickens.
Oh my gosh, that's
And here's
so sad.
that is, yeah.
Chicken!
And what happens on Monday if you drink all that beer?
And you
and-
eat all that chicken.
You're gonna be drowsy and sick.
And can you believe how much productivity, meaning people who don't go to work the day after the Super Bowl? It's like a huge holiday. A third of the people go to a Super Bowl party or watch it. And then the next day they call in and say, I'm so sick. I've been drinking Pepto-Bismol. And how much productivity lost, meaning people not working when they should have been.
$2 billion lost their productivity.
Man, so people, if we're trying to watch our money, don't overdo it because get to work and get your money, earn your money and go to work because $2 billion of productivity that are lost.
I mean, I bet like the owners are kind of happy like that they gotta keep that. I mean,
No, they don't get to go. Well, maybe.
don't-
You're
oh,
right.
well,
But
yeah.
they need stuff
Oh,
done.
true.
They need stuff done.
oh yeah, they still pay them. Okay.
Excuse me. What, the NFC and the AFC, right?
Yep.
The National and American Conference. NFC is Tampa Bay. Kansas City is the AFC. So there has been, and this was a while ago, they used to call it like the Superbowl indicator, which if, for instance, the NFC won, right? Because you have a group of teams coming from the NFC and you have the best team. And then you have a group of teams from the AFC. And the ones that go to the Super Bowl, if the NFC won, and this was about, 15 years ago, if it won 90+% of the time, the stock market would do what?
Go up.
And if the AFC won, what would happen?
It would go down.
I know. So they used to call that the Super Bowl market indicator or the effect. Yeah.
The Super Bowl effect.
And so when you talk about that, that was pretty crazy. Now, does it correlate in some way to the markets? No, not really. It just happened. It was like crazy. And now it's about 70%. The last 5 years, it was wrong.
Yeah.
So it said it was going to go down, and it went up, and said it was supposed to go down, or up and
went down.
And so that was kind of interesting to sit there and research that a little bit. Now it's in the 70% range. So better than 50-50, but it's 40 out of 53 times. And there's some, debate on who should have been included, because I don't know if you know, but those divisions kind of moved around a little bit and who was in them and stuff. But something about the Steelers was pretty high on that. But I went to it when the Colts played New Orleans in Miami. And guess what? You know how much my ticket cost me? Any idea? What's my 4-letter favorite F word?
Free.
Yay! Everybody who thought something very, very bad or wiped out of your mind.
That's inappropriate.
Because my favorite 4-letter F word is free, and I got a free ticket. I flew down there, didn't have a ticket, hooked up with my brother-in-law, who you guys know, Tony Petro. You heard from him. He got me into a party, and a guy came around and said, "Anybody need a ticket?" I go, "Yeah." And I go, "How much do I owe you?" And he said, "Oh, it wasn't free. Oh my gosh. It wasn't." He said I had to pay face value. I couldn't give him any more than face value because he was with the Indiana government. I can't remember the name of the guy. So I paid him face value.
Wait, what's that?
Means whatever is on the ticket is what I paid him. Mm-hmm. I didn't pay any more or less. I thought it was like $400 now that I think about it.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. So I got in. I saw the team. I saw Indianapolis. They lost. But New Orleans just had Katrina, which wiped out the entire city.
Yeah.
So I felt terrible for the Colts because I wanted them to win, but New Orleans just needed a win themselves.
Wait, who won then?
New Orleans won.
Yeah.
Because they had Katrina, and you guys probably don't know Katrina. It wiped out the entire city.
No,
it was terrible.
we know about Katrina.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you knew. Man, you guys are on top
we
of
have
it.
school.
We go to school,
Something
Dad.
go to school, Dad. Dad.
You go to that school, Dad. And when I was thinking about it, I look back at Peyton Manning, and what do we know about Peyton Manning other than, he was really fun to watch when he was here with the Colts.
He
Yes.
was the only person in the world.
Not the only. He was. He earned the most over his entire.
Yeah,
he earned the most and over his entire
football career.
Football career. Oh, and he's the only person that won back-to-back.
No, that wasn't him. That's Tom Brady. Tom Brady. Yeah.
So, anyways,
Tom Brady did it, but Peyton Manning, he was the guy that actually earned what?
He earned $250 million in his football career, and his brother was second with 190. So, that's a huge difference.
Whoa, dude.
That's $60 million difference.
But he did really well, and he won. Gosh, he won so many games. He did so many great things.
Who was his brother?
Eli Manning out of the New York Giants, and Eli won a Super Bowl. So it was all good. So today is Super Bowl Sunday.
Yay!
Yay!
Really cool. We're going to go up and maybe pre-party and all, do all that fun stuff. But we wanted to have just a little get together. I know this will come out a couple days. So before we go, McKenna, who are you going to root for to win?
Well, yeah, since other people are going to see
Yeah, they're going to see this after the Super Bowl.
Pressure.
And what do you think the score is? Come on now. Grant, do you know?
Okay, so I think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are going to win.
By how much?
By 30.
I think the spread is 3, which means that they anticipate the Chiefs will win by 3.
Okay, so I'm
just giving you info.
I think different. Okay, yeah.
I'm just giving you info.
Is 35 a possible score? Because I'm sorry, I don't watch football. Okay,
sure.
35.
Are you American? Come on.
35 to 24.
35-24. Grant says the Chiefs. Mac?
I think that the Buccaneers are gonna win by 2 points.
2 points. And how much? 19-17, 22-20, what?
I think it's going to be 20 to 21. 21 to 20. Is that possible?
Yeah, 21 to 20, but that's not 2 points. It's only 1 point.
Oh, whoops.
22 to 20?
22 to 20. There we go.
Okay, and I'm just going to say I think Kansas City's going to win by 7, just throwing out a number, and I think it's going to be a little bit higher scoring, so I think maybe 30 to 23. How's that sound?
That sounds more accurate. Okay.
That's it. Why don't you say goodbye, and then we'll go ahead and get upstairs. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Bye.